Hello, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all of my mothers. I decided today was a beautiful day to come on to do a What's Growing On video. I know I've been quiet, but so many things have been planted and are growing very well. And so I decided to just come and do a walkthrough. So, got a Roma tomato here and some basil here and some parsley. There's a few little seedlings that I got that aren't quite ready to plant up. This is another Roma tomato. These are some Market More 76 cucumbers and some oregano here. This is a large red cherry tomato and a jalapeno with a couple of marigolds here. These are my purple whole peas. I've got some basil here and some chocolate mint that I've propagated. I have 3 atomic grape tomato plants. This is one of them. They are doing great, as a matter of fact. They have flowers that are starting to come on. These are Space Master cucumbers in this tote, and there's another jalapeno in the middle. This is a volunteer tomato plant. It's either a Juliet or a jelly bean from last year. I didn't get to try them because as soon as they started setting their fruit, we got that unforeseen frost in November. And so I have a volunteer. These are the 2 other atomic grape tomato plants. I'm very excited about these. There's some carrots there. These 2 here are large red beefsteak tomato plants. There's my original chocolate mint. There's my pineapple mint. I got a couple of bean plants. I sowed all of these like bush bean seeds and they barely came up, but I do have 3 plants. And this is a large red cherry that I planted in here. There's also a borage. I have some peas that are growing, some sugar daddy peas here. They have just started putting on their flowers. They look so beautiful. It's gonna take a walk to the back here. This is a Cocazelle zucchini or squash plant here that is starting to flower. It's looking really healthy. These back here are my Minnesota midget muskmelon plants here. I had to replant 2 of them, but the other 2 are doing really, really good. That's the 4th one there. This is a little dark green zucchini that's not doing too good, as well as this one here. So I'm probably going to end up pulling those and planting something else in place, which is perfectly fine because I have a dark green zucchini here. Let me go here. On this row right here, I have my yellow watermelons. The seedlings just popped up. I had to keep replanting these for whatever reason. And now I finally have them. They're up in this bed here. I'll stand here. Down along the sides here are 3 marigolds planted. And then in the middle here are more cucumbers here. I'm going cucumber crazy this year in this bed. On the edges here is sunflower, sunflower here, black sunflowers, and then in the middle here I have 3 of the Prescott Fond Blanc melons. If you remember from last year, I wanted to plant those again, so I put 3 in this brick bed, and I'm just gonna let them sprawl and do their thing. The same thing with the cucumbers over here in this bed. I'm just gonna let them just go wild. The vines aren't supposed to get that long. Here this is borage. I have 4, well actually I have 5 because down there in that corner is a borage as well. I gotta transplant one up out of one of these spots and put one in that corner down there because that one got messed up. And here I just transplanted a few days ago some long green cucumbers, but I made a trellis for these. Uh, so as they start to grow up, I'll be trellising those there. That spot there that I have kind of like caved out in the middle, I'm waiting for some okra seeds to come. I'm going to plant a couple of okra plants there just to get started. Behind that is some corn that I planted here. Don't know what kind of corn it is because it's just corn that I plucked out of some bird seed. I just wanted to see how I was going to do. As of right now, the plants, they're doing really, really good. They're nice and green and healthy. Over here, underneath this laundry basket, I have some bush yellow patty pan squash planted. It hasn't popped up yet. I have to do that because all the little critters keep coming and digging up the things. Um, so I'm having to keep everything protected, or a lot of things protected. These are my potatoes here. These are just some potatoes from the grocery store that I let chit, and they are up and they're doing really, really well here. In here, I know you can't really see it, but there's a tire in here, and this is another place where I have oh wow, the yellow patty pan bush squash. And I see now, I just saw this when I was out here watering earlier, that wasn't the case. Again, you might not be able to see it, but the seeds are getting ready to pop up, and that was really quick because I think I planted those like 4 days ago. So they have germinated. So maybe the other ones up under that clothes hamper are probably going to pop up today or tomorrow too. In here I have more potatoes, same variety. I just, threw them in there and said I'll see what they do. Let me see. Over here are my fruit trees. Y'all know, remember last year I was talking about how I cut them back and I didn't get a single flower. I didn't get a single fruit, anything. It was just like, oh my God, I think I messed up. But my blackberries are coming on and they're doing very, very wonderfully here. Just for this, I only had this one plant, of course, but they are loaded with blackberries. And I even got some blueberries here that have come on. Only on this one though, it's weird. The one back here did not set any flowers, but this one did. I'll take it, whatever the hell, And then I have, these are my, I think they're golden raspberries. These things are so thorny, it doesn't make any sense. I already see a leaf-footed bug there. I don't know if you can see that. I'll have to take care of that. But I got golden raspberries coming on here. I really am having a problem with keeping these watered because it's like the water just runs right through them. But it's also very hard to change out the container because they have so many thorns. So I just have to like water. Whenever I water, I give them like 2 gallons of water. Same thing here. My little dear friend that y'all saw me post earlier in the season comes to visit me like every 3 or 4 days, and I actually like watched it take a big chunk off of my blueberry plant. I don't know if it did that to this plant. It kind of looks like it, but I guarantee you it's not down to that again because, like I said, these things are full of thorns here. I got all kind of little baby like, this is some kind of pepper. I got all of these little, what am I trying to say? Volunteer plants that are popping up. There were a lot of tomatoes, but because the weather kept fluctuating early in the season, I had way more volunteer tomato plants than I have now. But it's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm really happy. I don't even need them because I have, as of right now, I have 9 tomato plants planted out, so I don't need another tomato plant at all. So it's coming. Things are coming really well. I'm very happy about this. All the beds are filled. I cannot wait for my okra seeds to come. I also have it's red burgundy okra, and I'm waiting for some bush sugar baby watermelon seeds so I can have red and yellow watermelon, and then that with my musk melons, and then my Prescott Fun Blanc melons. Y'all know every year I get a hard time with these. Like the last 2 or 3 years, 2 years of trying to grow squash and zucchini have been absolute hell. So I'm preparing to do everything I can to defeat the squash vine borers. I still have until next month, I think it is, before they start showing up. But again, I have two plants right now that are growing really great. I'm going to be pulling up, I already can tell, these two plants, and I'll just probably put a pepper in there or something of that nature. Really happy that those bush patty pan scallops are popping up, because then I'll have 4 squash plants in total. So yeah, that's how things are coming. uh I guess I'll do one of these like every week. Oh look, see, I have a pea coming on. Yeah, so I'll be popping off peas and some little fresh snacks from the garden very shortly here. I gotta get back there and kind of cut back all of these weeds that are kind of overrunning everything. But outside of that, everything else is doing really, really well. That's also an oregano that I popped in there with this volunteer tomato plant. So I gotta just freed up a container. I had some radishes planted there, but they started going to flower. So I plucked them and I gave them to Tootie to eat. So, because y'all know she loves her radishes. So again, more marigolds that I grew from seed. These things grow really, really quickly. Um, and here I have some Swiss chard, a little bit of lettuce, which I don't know if it's going to make it or not. Some backup watermelon seedlings that, because the other ones were taking so long to pop up, I thought maybe they weren't going to come up. Some extra Prescott Fun Blancs. These are my eggplant seedlings, which have given me pure hell this year. I've never had this hard of a time. I even had to buy more eggplant seeds because I just couldn't get it together. These are my two, I have 2 sweet California Wonder peppers. I won't be transplanting these out until like the middle of next month here. This is a bell pepper that came up from a seed that I planted from a grocery store bell pepper. This is some regular peppermint that I planted from seed. It actually wasn't very hard at all. It took about 2 weeks for it to germinate, but it wasn't hard at all. These are just some like really washed out tomato seeds that I threw in here. I won't be needing those for anything. I planted here yesterday I had a baby butternut squash, and I took the seeds from those. I took a few of the seeds and I planted them to see if I could get those to germinate so I can grow some butternut squash. This pot here, there was some other things. It was some arugula in here, but it got too warm and it started going to seed, so I plucked those out. But I got 2 Swiss chards in here, and these are the other Roma and large red cherry and red beefsteak tomato plants that I planted. I just got a lot of extra plants here. So, you never know when you'll need a backup. In this pool here, I just took some seeds and just threw them out just to see what would, excuse me, what would germinate. I got some dill in there, and I got a few kale seeds, nothing major. Room to pull up the things that aren't doing that good and that well, and to plant something else. I think I might repurchase some more bush beans and stick some of those in there and leave the things that are doing really well, like the dill is, and the white Russian kale in there is doing really good. I got a couple lacinatos I see in here that look like they might end up pulling their weight, so they'll stay. And everything else I'm just gonna pluck out and just make room for something else here. I even have some volunteer white Russian kales growing right here in my yard. And these are from last year. So these have just been kind of hanging out and kicking it right here in the yard. So yeah, that's what I got going on, my lovelies. I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and until the next time, namaste.